well, I can't get to the gym today, so just nothing then. Never mind. And when things really changed for me is when I lowered the standards like tremendously, like to the basement from where they previously were for me, and just said like, I just generally am going to consider this walk my fitness today. I'm going to consider some air squats my fitness today. Like, but when I opened the doors to that being acceptable, it was almost like the amount of time that I actually got movement in like doubled and tripled.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Thick Thighs Save Lives podcast. I'm Kelsey.
Beyonce here. I'm Rachel, and I mean, you pointed it out to me. I didn't actually realize I did it, but we have one fan in the room for a little bit of a cool breeze in the undercarriage while we're. You don't think?
It's for your undercarriage.
Yeah, because the rest of me is fine, but Oh no, I just remembered I forgot to start my phone.
Oh my God, I asked you 4 times.
You did.
If you
Should I
started your
do it
phone.
now?
Just do it now.
Oh my God. Okay.
I literally asked you 4 times if you
Sorry.
started your phone. You
Sorry.
didn't. I just want you guys to know, Rachel doesn't have to do anything as we set up
Not
for
true.
our podcast. She just has to sit there
Not true.
and get the fan and just point it at her. And then
What I
leave me
did
in the
was
corner.
I set up a fan
Sweating.
so that we could be nice and cool
Yeah.
in this unventilated, unair conditioned room while we record. And I just realized I did just point it at me. Yes, I did. And it's oscillating, but it's like from me to me. It's like it's oscillating like from my left and then back to my right. And it's not really reaching you, but
I'm over here just like melting. I've set up this whole thing. I do all of our sound checks.
you'll be fine, Tupac. You got if you get hot, just go ahead and use your sweatband to just wipe it away. You'll be fine. You're prepared.
I am literally adorable with my headbands, and you can't tell me any
I
different.
don't disagree.
I started this trend after Tupac.
I mean, it was Tupac, and then shortly after,
Yeah,
you came,
it was
and
me.
no, you're adorable.
It's a great time
You're adorable.
for when you're not gonna. So, I didn't wash my hair.
I mean, who did?
I think
If you wash your hair, you're not
did
even
on
allowed
Wednesday.
in this podcast room. Get out.
Yeah, I'm
If you have
saying,
clean
and
hair,
like
get
I'm
out
gonna
of here.
work out later. Like it's just not worth it for me right now in my journey. That's not a part of my journey
It's
today.
there.
So you got to get creative in the summer when your hair, and you got to just think, oh, is it slick Rick today, or am I just gonna put this little headband thing, and that's what I go
It
with.
absorbs the oil. That's what it's there up there doing. It's
Yeah.
absorbing the oil, and it's adorable, all in one.
Hey, thanks.
And I'm very nice and cool over here.
You're
so
just
good luck to you. And I was gonna say to you, because I did want to finish that thing I was saying to you before, which was you asked me how. What did you say? You saw a meme about being married?
I reposted a meme that was like, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage, man. What if you have a long day and then someone wants to talk to you at the end of it? Like something like that. Like that seems like I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of. I live alone. I'd like to preface that.
If that wasn't already clear, she lives alone and has commitment phobia. So, what did your friend text you back when you?
I literally hate you or something. You're so annoying.
But
you know what? Number one, I appreciate people who don't put up with my shit. And I
Yeah.
just got to put that right out because, like, just coming at that, like, full throttle, being like, you're so annoying, Kelsey, like, whatever. And not just feeling like feelings hurt by it. Those are the type of people I need in my life.
Yeah, because, you're either here to be straight up or not. And I don't read people well. It's like either just say what you
I don't do passive aggressive.
Say what you need to say. It looks weird with the Tupac. I don't. It's not a match there. Not. But I said to you like that I totally felt that, and I don't know if it's like a it's like a family thing or something, but I totally felt that because I was thinking about when I was teaching full time, and that was such a job that was so heavily interactive,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
it took
you have a
so
lot of people looking
much.
at you all the time
Oh
too,
my god,
like
it's a
every
lot of
second.
talking,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of like good teachers are like think of it like a performance, like you're there to like make the material really interesting and riveting. And then of course then you have your like life skills that you're teaching, and you're wanting to make sure that all your interactions with your students are top notch, because you never know which is the one that they're going to be like, remember that time they always used to do that to me.
Yeah.
Remember that time, Miss Hellier, you said this? And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't remember that. But like, that's why everything needs to be highly thought out when you're
True.
teaching.
Mm.
And so when you get home, no, I had a rule. 1 hour. And that was from when I stepped in the door. So if I came home early, if I came home late, I get 1 full hour, 60 minutes. Do not interact with me. He would just wave like from afar until the 1 hour was up. And I always know that was hard for Mark because he was he was working from home by himself. So
Yeah.
that's like the opposite, is like when
You
someone
didn't have
comes
anyone to
in.
interact with.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How was your day? Like you just have a whole day's worth of stuff. But he waited because it wasn't going to be my best self.
You
You
know
got to
what?
make rules, ground rules.
Ground rules. I want to say this. You said, like, I don't know if it's a family thing, because I said I had a similar when I had a job where I had a lot of interaction and a lot of like emotional toll throughout the day of being of in social work and being in individual therapy, and like it was just a lot of again, like focus on your interaction and having to make sure, or I mean that comes from some internal pressure too, of like having to make sure you are saying the right thing in all of these
That's what I'm
circumstances.
talking
And
about.
that I don't know if every person feels that way, but that's definitely personality traits we both carry, where you're like, I'm putting so much effort into making sure my interactions are top notch and that I am saying the most appropriate, helpful thing that I could possibly think of in this moment. And there's a lot of exhaustion that goes along with that. But I want to say, when you said like, is this a family thing? That's boundaries. And those are boundaries that have been set, are very important, and you've recognized them and said, I don't want you to speak to me for a full hour from the time I get home. And I think that a lot of people need that as well, but they don't have the maybe ability or the thought to set that boundary, or the
Well,
confidence
we
to
had a
set that
lot of
boundary.
bad times before I said that, because
Yeah.
it would be like this constant pattern of like bad interactions where he would like attack me when I came home with like
You would be feeling
words.
attacked.
It
Yeah.
was just so many words, and I was like dead behind the eyes, and I was like glitching, and then I just started to feel like overwhelmed and mad and like get away from me, and that was reading like that. And he was like, well, I haven't seen you all day, why are you so just like we had a pattern that was happening of like bad interactions, and it would be easy to blame that on like, oh, what's wrong with us, something's wrong with us. But
Yeah.
actually it was just that it needed to be set, and after that hour I really did feel ready
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
most
sure.
days.
Most days. Most days. But but you have to, I feel like that's just such an important recognition in your life and in your relationships, to say like, this is a need. I have identified a problem here, and what do I need to fix it? What is my need that's not being met? And like, my need is quiet time. My
Dude,
need is
how did
decompression.
I knew you were going to turn this into a
I'm
therapy
sorry.
session. I knew you were going to do it. I was trying to just say it's a funny thing that you can't
I
you
can
can't
only
get
be me,
married
Rachel.
because you can't talk to anybody at all when you go. And in there you go. It's true. Look at me. Look, I'm so good at my boundaries.
Yeah, you're great at your I'm just trying to give you your props for
Thank
your
you so much.
boundaries. And
Thank you so
I
much.
can only be me. I was relaying it too. When we talked about this, I said I had some I mine came to decision making when I felt like I was making a lot of decisions throughout the day and a lot of people were asking me for decisions, when I left, I had decision fatigue. And I listen to leadership podcasts and watch leadership videos a lot because I just want to be a better person. Self improvement is like
Lasai.
it's like a psychotic weird thing. But like one of the videos that I saw, he was talking about like how
Not me.
decision
I don't
fatigue.
I don't want any
It's
of
a
that.
weird thing. I don't even, it's a weird thing. But he was saying how decision fatigue is like basically a sign of some poor leadership or, not setting some like good boundaries or whatever. And I was like, that's me. I have decision fatigue and I'm just a bad person.
So, like you're saying, there's so many decisions that need to be made during the day, and then you come home and someone says, like, "What do you want for supper?" Or like,
Yeah.
"Let's go out." Like, where do you want to go? And that is just like puts you over the edge of
Over the edge.
sanity.
I get like dead behind that. Like I'm literally like, do you want rice or potatoes? And I'm like, what are those?
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. I don't know. And I'll literally be like, where do I want to go for dinner? I don't
Why
know.
not both?
I know. Why not both?
Oh, that's just me.
But then I started being like, you know what? Maybe I'll just stop being so hard on myself and just say, some days you're just out of decisions. And you could just say, I'm out of decisions and not try and like force it. Or what I do is like very like self, it's like, oh, you're such a terrible person. You don't have any more decisions left in you. Like
Yeah, but then you
you
can't
can't
do that.
even
You can't do that
thrive.
thing though where you're like, "No, I don't care. Whatever, you decide." And then they're like, oh, "Okay, so how about rice?" And you're like,
I hate rice.
I've never liked rice. You know I hate rice. How could you? How dare you?
Yeah.
I needed you in that moment and you chose rice? Get out of my life. So you
Like
can't do
you've
that.
never met me
I'm
before.
just saying, you can't, you
Yeah,
have
I
to
can do what I
say,
want.
uh,
I can do.
well, just good luck to you. Anyways, I'm sure it'll all turn out just great. Um, no, but it really will. But I like today's topic because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. And I actually went and did something about it, which I always feel like even better when I'm
Yes.
like, I saw this problem and I went and I solved it. So I've been wanting to
And
talk
then you sing
about
about it.
did I do that?
Yeah.
Well, my life is a musical. Um, I've been wanting to talk about this like general feeling that I've been having about fitness and nutrition and just health in general, that it's so exclusive and it's been set up in a way that it's like there's so many things needed to get into this community, and you have to have all of these special things, and it makes it so most people feel that they are either A, underprepared, or B, not knowledgeable enough, or a number of feelings of inadequacy, and that is what's holding them back from just doing the thing.
Living a healthier life. Yeah.
It's like when I, get more equipment, albeit when I get a better gym membership, when I get a personal trainer, when I get my macros calculated, it's like there's when I have the right supplements. It's this, I don't have the specific supplements that I need to reach my goals. It's like all of these things are standing in the way as like gatekeepers to be like, you aren't really fitnessing, or you shouldn't even bother until you have a gym full of equipment, a personal trainer, all the
Right
supplements,
sneakers.
it like everything. It doesn't even stop anywhere. And then there's always something else too, right? Like if you have a whole bunch of things lined up, then it's like, but you don't have a nutritionalist. I mean, I just said
Nutritionist. Yeah.
that. You don't have like, you're not
Removed L.
counting your calories, you don't know your exact protein intake, and it's like, well, then don't even bother, just don't do it at all if you're not going to do it with all of these prerequisites. And it's been bothering me because I've done this to myself. number of different times where I've said, like, well, I can't get to the gym today, so just nothing, then never mind. And when things really changed for me is when I lowered the standards like tremendously, like to the basement from where they previously were for me, and just said, like, I just generally am going to consider this walk my fitness today. I'm going to consider some air squats my fitness today. Like, from where like I felt like I was, that would have been, not what I would have typically called fitness. But when I opened the doors to that being acceptable, it was almost like the amount of time that I actually got movement in like doubled and tripled. And that was a cool thing for me, and I wanted to talk to people about the fact that I think that that is present in a lot of people's life, and maybe if we can just take the stigma off of what it means to be like working out and eating a nutritious, well-rounded, diet, and what that, and living like a generally healthy lifestyle, and the fact that that doesn't need to include all this fancy shit, and that's really just marketing. That's all.
Yeah, I
That's all.
think that's a great point. I think there's a lot of things there. I think there is a lot of friction points for people when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle. I think there's a lot of judgment that comes with the type of fitness that you're doing. And I think there's a lot of limitations that we set upon ourselves and what that will include for fitness. And I think that once you start removing some of the limitations which are really in our mind. So when we think of limiting factors, like why can't I live a healthy lifestyle? I don't have the gym membership I need. I don't have the equipment that I need. I don't have the shoes I need. I don't have a personal chef. I don't have the time. So we have all of these things that are kind of stacked up against us as to why we can't live a healthy lifestyle. And I think when we start identifying what our those limitations are and start removing them one by one and finding some solutions, I think we really open up ourselves to redefining what fitness looks like for us, what a healthy lifestyle looks like for us, and then deciding that like that definition is ours alone and a healthy lifestyle. So once you start to include this, like what a healthy lifestyle looks like for you, because we've introduced the idea to you before that a healthy body does not have a specific look. A healthy body for you does not have a specific look. So what does that also mean? A healthy lifestyle for you is not what a healthy lifestyle looks like for another person. So we're kind of taking it a step further. And I think that, I know this is like a hard, because we've already introduced this, like one body is not the healthy body for everyone. And we're not all striving for that one thing, but it's the same thing with your lifestyle. There's not one type of fitness that is fitness, that is right for you, that is going to be a healthy lifestyle for you. And this is particularly important when we start to enter in these spaces where there is real limitations, like I cannot make it to the gym today. So does that mean I do nothing, or does that mean I redefine fitness for me today? Or I don't have a bunch of equipment. Why do I need a bunch of equipment? Like let's like think about that for a second. Like why do I need like a ton of equipment to get started?
I have always come back to a really important thing that I read about habits and that like we promote every single day is the fact that the more friction points you can remove, the more likely you are to get the thing done. So saying that a good workout is heavily reliant on tons and tons of equipment and availability to unlimited
Or
amounts of
getting
stuff.
somewhere, or having a
Yeah.
babysitter, or having, there's a ton that
So
goes
that's
into
what we
that.
call friction points. If you're not familiar with like, I think it's from Atomic Habits, but if you're not familiar with like habit building and like what that terminology means, a friction point is simply anything that could potentially get in your way, no matter how big or how small, of doing the thing that you want to do. So, if the thing is that you would like to get, when we boil it all down, it's really that I would like to get some movement in today. I would like to move my body with a purpose. If you set the standard at, 'I'm going to get 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at 10 minutes of movement in today, if you set the standard at getting to a gym and be having the availability to, every piece of equipment in the world, you are going to increase the amount of friction points because there are a lot of things that need to happen between you and getting to the gym, right?
And then the equipment being available, and then there's like a ton of it. There's like the
And
more
of course,
factors you put
knowing
in.
how to use said equipment, because if you've been told that you can only really get a good workout in if you use all this fancy stuff, but you don't know how to use all this fancy stuff, then we're talking about another friction point of like, I'm going to feel stupid. I have to spend a bunch of time YouTubing to see. I don't want anyone to, God forbid, see me using this wrong and like laugh at me or chuckle or, so like the friction points just keep increasing and increasing. And the same exact thing when it comes to nutrition, like thinking that you have to prepare meals just like she does because she lives a healthy lifestyle. And so I'm going to, go through these overly complicated recipes with ingredients that I don't usually have in my house. And now we're increasing the friction points of like, are you actually going to do all of that? Or is that going to become a reason why it might just be easier to stop at a drive through? And, that's, I think when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, so many people have these friction points that they are unaware of that they think are just them being lazy. And I just want to take that out of there because friction points aren't about how lazy you are or how dedicated or how, like, that's not what it's about. Real people that understand habits and how to be consistent with certain tasks in their life, they understand that it isn't about motivation, that it is completely about the ease of how you've set something up to fit in your lifestyle. And it's so important that we recognize that, to take that shame out of like, well, if I was just a better, more motivated person, I would, be able to get this shit done. And that's not it.
Yeah, I think that's a it's a great point, and I think that the reason why I laugh is that the diet industry pulls motivation in so hard, so that everyone who is not able to, who doesn't meet their goals or doesn't fall into what they would consider a healthy lifestyle, that the problem has to be the motivation and the not anything to do with the pieces that you put in place to fail. Like it's not any of those. It's got to be you and your motivation. And you're absolutely right. Anyone who's been in this game long enough knows that motivation doesn't last, habits do. I've said that a million times because I believe it absolutely to my core. I will tell you straight up, there is not even in one entire week where I show up every day motivated to go to the gym. There's not and I love to work out. It's a great stress relief for me. It is something that I generally would like to look forward to, but sometimes at the end of the day, you're like, I look forward to my bed. Yeah, I just look forward to my bed. And the thing is though, when you have your habits in place, is that in order to get to the next thing, that you bypass what, at 4:30 I do this, and then I go, and that's your habit that is put in place. But one of the things that I want to talk about with people is that while you're looking to put some of these habits in place and looking at what's realistic for you, if it's not realistic for you to get to the gym X amount of days per week, whatever your goal is for the number of days you want to work out, is that you might need to redefine at least some of those days to getting some movement in at home or outside the gym, and realizing that you're not necessarily lowering the bar. You're getting a great workout in, you're getting great fitness in, you're contributing to living a happy, healthy lifestyle. Even if you don't have all of these, fancy equipments, or you don't have, a bunch of things that you have access to on that day, that you're still getting just as good of a workout in at home or maybe at the park or wherever it works for you that fits into your healthy lifestyle, and being not only okay with that, but proud of that.
The number one thing that I did to up the amount of times that I was getting in movement every week was to put a pair of dumbbells in my car. I have worked out twice as much as all the times I planned to get to the gym and didn't. And when you take it like that, okay, well, I can either do this awesome gym session or nothing at all, or I can do a dumbbell workout. And that's something, then that beats the zero every single time. That beats the nothing every single time. So it's like taking that, stance of the fact of like, I'm just going to take out all of the stoppers, as many as I can, right? And I'm going to travel with dumbbells literally in my car. They roll around back there a lot because I bring them in my car because I know that there are certain times where like I'll be at a playground and I'm like, well, I might not get another chance today. I'm just sitting on this park bench watching him play. Like, I might as well go grab a dumbbell and just like do some squats. And like, I'm not like a crazy, I'm not like a lunatic. I pick like a spot where I can see him, but like I'm far off and nobody's like, I'm not like in the middle of the playground with my dumbbells, guys. I'm just trying to set
But
the
if
scene.
you are, that's fine
But
too.
if you are, that's also fine. It's any way you can get it done is how you should get it done. But I really think that a great option, if you find that you are just not getting in the movement that you want every week, is to just grab yourself a pair of dumbbells and just like have them with you. The other thing that I really think that people should do as something to take out friction is to have workouts ready made for you already planned. I've said this a million times that a huge friction point for people for getting to the gym or doing a workout is like, well, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Now I have to make it up. Never mind. Like, that may not seem like a big friction point. It's like, oh, come on, if you were just a little bit motivated. But on those days where you're not, that's way too difficult. You've had a long day. You have decision fatigue, maybe. Oh my God, we just brought in the whole way back.
Mm.
You've
Full
made a whole
circle.
bunch of decisions at work. Now you have to decide on what your workout is going to be. What kinds of, are you going to do legs that day? It's like, no, you're just might not be in a position to do that. The best thing you could possibly do is have like a whole bunch of choices of just workouts that are already planned out for you, and just like have to like just pick one up and go like, okay, here's today. That's it. I didn't have to think. I don't have to go to the gym. I have my dumbbells in my car. I have this piece of paper that tells me exactly what to do. And now all of a sudden I'm doing a session where there wasn't one before.
And you have the confidence in it, right? So like there's a lot of things there which like I always tell people, like, don't make up your own workouts. You wouldn't write your own prescriptions. There's certain things that I personally, like, I'll stand behind that every time, that I just don't feel like people should be doing for themselves. And that's writing your own workouts. There are professionals who do that, and there's one thing where your friction point is like not having the ability to get to the gym, and then there is another point of like, well, now I'm going to write a workout and like I don't have the expertise in that. That's another friction point that but if you have the ability to get workouts from someone who knows what they're doing and just have them, then that's 100% what I would suggest to you, because then you have the confidence, and this is a great workout. It's not overdone. I didn't just write this whole thing that now I didn't know how long it was really going to take, and now either it was like way too short, not really what I wanted, or I'm here for like 45 minutes just moving the entire time, and I like don't even know, like, now I'm not done and I have to cut it short. Now I feel like I didn't finish, and there's like a whole bunch of things in there that can happen. Whereas if you just have access to body weight or just with dumbbell workouts where you have the confidence in them, they were written by a professional, you have your script that you can just go around with you all the time and just get it in wherever you can.
I love the idea of just simplifying everything down to like the most possible, the any any friction point that you see, just trying your best to eliminate it. And I promise you, it is going to, and it's not going to work every single day, right, guys? Like there's just days, but it is going to vastly increase the percentages that you're working out and you're able to get in a session and you're able to leave feeling, you know what? I did something today and like it was way more than I had planned on doing. And a pair of dumbbells is genuinely all you need.
Mm.
I would go so far as to say all you need is body weight, and that will definitely get you. So that will get you, you know, that's a good starting place. But I think that there's a certain amount of time where you'll say, like, okay, now the friction point is like, I'm bored with the same body weight exercises over and over. And that's a whole different thing. Dumbbells give you the ability to keep things constantly changing. There's like a million and one things you can do with a pair of dumbbells that will keep you interested. Also, it, you know, we talked about the importance of load bearing and making sure that, you know, we are working with some kind of resistance training, and that is going to help you with that. And guess what? Guess what? I made an ebook because I was so tired of the fact that I personally was not getting in the kinds of sessions that I wanted to get in. And I was like, I just started programming workouts that I could do at home with just dumbbells. And I was like, you know what? I should just write all these
I should
down. And
share this with my friends.
why didn't I give these to my friends? I bet my friends have a crazy 5-year-old too that like, and like crazy work schedules and like, it, you know, I had these workouts that I was really in these sessions that I was really just making for myself. And I said, like, you know what? We just need to do this. So we have a brand new TTSL ebook that is a low equipment ebook. All you need is a pair of dumbbells. If you have a jump rope, that's super awesome. But like you can just do air hops.
Mm.
But like that's all. That's all. And it's different every day. There is strength built in, there is metabolic conditioning built in, there's warm ups and cool downs, but it's not so overwhelming. You do not need a ton of equipment, and it is still an amazing session that you can do anywhere.
And then you have it in your back pocket. You have a whole bunch of workouts. So you're like, I know I could do these anywhere. I just can access them at any time and bank them, whatever, for whenever you need them.
And as far as like nutrition goes, when it comes to, you know, taking out some of those friction points, one of the things that really helped me, well, Instacart helped me a lot.
Same.
Because there were so many times where I was like, I don't have, you know, the kinds of fresh things that I want to make, whatever. And like, but I can't get to the grocery store because I got to drag this hellion along with me who's going to walk at a pace that is, I've never seen. Is it just my kid?
Mm.
I've never seen anyone in such not a rush. And I know I'm in a rush. I know that's my personality, and I
It's
know
your
it's where we
personality.
live. A lot of
You know what
everything.
happened to me the other day?
He's the slow. I've never seen someone move at a pace like this. I just stand there and watch him, and I'm like, is this a joke? Am I being punked?
So I just want to say though that I feel I've learned that you walk faster than normal people. And the reason why I know this is because I walk faster than normal people. And I only notice it when I'm not walking with other people who are at this like New York subway pace, and they're like breathing really hard, and they're like, why are you walking so fast? And I'm like, and the other day I was walking through here, and Mark happened to be walking behind me, and I was at first I was like, is he chasing me? And he was like, he came in behind me. He's like, usually I have to slow my pace down so people don't think I'm like running behind them, chasing them down. And he was like, but as I was walking behind you, I was like, this is a good pace.
Well, that's because, and that this is the unfortunate thing for
You have two
Rory is
people.
we're both constantly running and rushing, and like we both move at a pace that is not.
And Rory only has little legs. Like he has little 5-year-old legs,
He
and he's
also
just
has.
drinking in the world around him,
I
and just like he's
I'd
like,
like
what
to
is?
blame the legs, but also like I've never seen someone with so little of a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, we have to rush, and I'll be like, we're gonna be late, and he'll be like on board at first. I'll be like, okay, mama, we gotta get there. If it's something he wants to do,
Yeah.
and 2 seconds later, like a butterfly has gone by, and I'm
Yeah.
like, remember when we were? Oh yeah. Why did I? Oh, because I can't bring him to the grocery store.
You can't bring him to the grocery store, yeah.
Guys, I'll be there for 3.5 hours while he just peruses the aisles like at a pace that it's not even human. I can't go to the grocery store, so I Instacart. That's changed my life because nutrition is much easier for me because I can order the groceries that I want to eat instead of going like, well, we have to take out again because this kid, he doesn't walk, he just crawls. So there's that. And then the other thing is Frozen that I wanted to say. It really upped my Frozen game. And that has helped me tremendously to just be like, you know what? Maybe I don't have like stuff's gone bad or whatever. Or I don't have everything that I need for like this ridiculous recipe, but I have frozen stuff. So, friction points. I like to take it out.
Yeah. So hopefully this episode is helpful to you to talk about or to think about some of your friction points, what they might be to living a healthy lifestyle for you and how you define that for yourself. But like the first thing is really to identify what are the friction points for me and how can I develop a growth mindset to eliminate some of these friction points? And does it involve maybe redefining what fitness today looks like for me, or the number of days per week, or what nutrition looks like for me, or how I can eliminate some of these friction points on a daily basis so that I am happy with the, healthy lifestyle that I can live for me, that works with my life, that I'm not trying to fit into some other person's life
That I
I'm
saw
never
on
gonna
Instagram.
that I
And
saw on
it's not
Instagram, and
real.
I'm never gonna live in their house.
Also, it's not real.
Well,
It's a highlight reel. That's not, you're not
just
seeing.
totally fine.
Right.
Sometimes they're highlight reels, sometimes they're not. And guess what? Both of those are fine because
Fine.
we aren't using other people's lives to define how we are living our own. So what other people choose to share or don't is up to them, but we are not using that as a means to decide we are going to live their life.
Doesn't
No.
have anything to do with you.
It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
You define yours and decide what that looks like for you. See what your friction points are and how we can really eliminate some of our friction points so that we're happy with the life that we're living.
And I bet you a pair of dumbbells will help you for all those things.
For all of those things.
All of those things mentioned, all of the above, a pair of dumbbells and some good workouts. Get you some.
We love you guys.